Hey YouTube, Painbow here. Today I'm going to be showing a method of getting up here to the Spirit Strike platform, also hoverless. Typically the way we use in the route currently is to get on this outside ledge right here, do like a twisted jump up to here, but it's a pretty precise jump. I did get it right there, but it's fairly difficult to get to. But I found a different method using this lamp up here. Now this jump reminds me a lot of the Mountaintop North, the Mountaintop Gate Skip. Where you need a very precise timing of your jump. But essentially, I line up here. If you look at Tack's feet, there seems to be a bit of land that is not covered up with these thick leaves. I stand to the left of that a little bit, and there's a leaf pile right here that I'm standing on. I like it to be covering Tack's legs. It's not super precise, not pixel perfect or anything, but this just kind of gives me the general area where I want to stand in. Now, if you look to the left, the visual cue I use is between this moss right here and this rope up here. I like to be closer to the rope. What I do with that is I line up the left side of my screen in between that, like something like that. Something to note about this spot is there is an orangutan directly behind Tack that is pulling back at the tree. He will let go of the tree, and when it shoots up into its original position, it will mess with the camera a little bit. If you see, like, watch this. See how the camera jerks a little bit? Sometimes it returns to the original position, sometimes it gets all finicky. That's just something you have to look out for. Now what I like to do from here is I like to swing the staff about 2 times. Make sure I have that same angle. Orangutan's doing that. I'm going to do that to avoid. And then hold crazy feet and hit forward and jump at the same time. And what you should do is you should land here on this lamp. It does sound really precise, but it's not insanely bad. You can jump from that original position. You'll just have to hold forward a little bit more before you jump. Again, we're using the slope, and the most important part of this trick is the timing of that jump. If you don't have that timing correctly, it's just like that Mountaintop North or Mountaintop Fence Skip, where you'll just kind of not get enough height up here because you're having to use that wall to push you along and get that extra bit of height. But I hope this is helpful. I hope that this trick is a bit more consistent for some people. Rather than that little jump over the ledge, because that is a pain in the butt to have to do so late in the run, and if you mess it up, then you can really lose a lot of time here in Upper Tree Village to it. I also do want to go over this part of the jump a little bit more, this method, in case you are having some difficulty with this lamp jump. Again, I do find it more consistent, but I can completely understand if this way would be a little bit easier for you. But essentially, we're wanting to get on this side of the rope. There's not a whole lot of room here, so it is kind of important when you do that jump not to hold forward too much and fall off the edge. But you're essentially aiming for, I'd say, right in this area. I like to use this middle leaf pile. You see those 3 on the screen? I like to use this little middle bit of leaves that are hanging down, and just along this right side edge of it. So I'll line up, Tack with that, aim forward, hold crazy feet, hold forward a little bit, and then jump. I think that was good jump right there. Now the hard part about that is you need to hold forward a good amount of time to get that forward momentum. Because let's say I get that same line up here a little bit that way, and I hold crazy feet and I jump and hold forward at the same time. What's going to happen is I'm just not going to get enough distance. You have to hold forward a little bit, but this ledge doesn't give you a whole lot of space to hold forward with. So again, if I do hold forward, and another thing is this thing likes to make a Tack slide a little bit. That's also something you got to consider when you're doing this trick. Right there, that was a pretty good jump, and I did end up getting it. Something I found that makes it a little bit consistent is to get a running start towards it. It makes it so that I feel like I have more momentum before I hit the staff, and that gives me more distance most of the time. I do have a bit of a setup. I like to get Tack behind this moss, and I like to turn the camera a little bit more to the right than you would think. And that's essentially because when I start holding left and then I hit forward, I'm going to sort of spin, and that's going to move my camera. So right now, like, my camera's lined up that way. When I go for the jump, see how the camera turns? I like the camera to turn so that I can just hold forward on the analog stick, and that way I don't have to adjust my analog stick during the jump to try to get that ledge right there. So again, that's something you can consider if the other one's giving you more trouble. Personally, I do really prefer to the other method. I did just find it out today, but it's giving me a lot more consistent results in this jump right here. So yeah, if you're having trouble with that method though, maybe you're trying it a couple times in runs, you're just not getting it, you practice this a little bit, it's good to know both methods. One final benefit to the lamp method is that if you come over here by this treadmill, you can set your respawn point over there. And if you get this trick first try, then you'll avoid setting your respawn point by the sheep. Now the reason that's beneficial is that you can actually use this to avoid and skip a little bit of travel time. So you come up here, grab that, grab this, and instead of landing down there, you can void. And now you're going to respawn over by this lamp. Now if you noticed, I didn't have the respawn animation, and the reason for that is because I have not voided in this area since loading it in. If I did go ahead and void again, then I will get that animation, unfortunately. So again, the reason that you have to get it first try is so you don't set your respawn point over there, and if you do happen to not get it first try, then it would just be more beneficial to travel over here rather than void out.